Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of New Earth TV Live. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. We have another amazing, wonderful New Earth TV Live for everybody here again today. We are going to be doing, again, guided meditation for Mother Earth. We are going to work together with group healing as well, too, kind of in the BCR technique, spirit code style. And then, of course, we'll be moving on to Q&A with Adronis. So just as I did last week, for those of you who are here and who have seen the recording, I was doing kind of a mediumship style connection with Adronis, and I found that much easier rather than going right into the channeling state, going right back into the channeling state, which takes a little bit more time. So I'm going to be doing that again today. It's just kind of doing it from a mediumship style. So if you guys do have questions for myself or for Adronis, when we get into the Q&A segment, feel free to post your questions on the live chat. As you can see, the live chat is right here on my screen as well. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Thank you very much for being here once again. And of course, as we always do, we're going to start off with some announcements. So here we go. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards. A spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And another announcement is the Akashic Record Sessions have now returned to New Earth Teaching. I have been doing the Akashic Record Sessions since about 2010. So I'm happy to bring them back again. They have really been polished and revamped. So you guys can check out more information about that. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's all on the information page. I will be doing an Akashic Record Session video here this week to talk a little bit more about the session and what is covered as well, as I like to add the video to the information with this session that is now available. So again, it's Akashic readings and Akashic healings. Okay, and there's also combo sessions that you can get where you can get both a reading and a healing as well. The healings are quite extensive as well too. We're actually looking into cutting a lot of cords. We're into clearing away a lot of emotional karmic patterns as well too, as what is being discovered through your Akashic records and through Vedic astrology. So it's quite dynamic. So again, if you want to check it out, it's now available on the website, newearthteachings.com. All right, you'll see the image of the Akashic Record Sessions there. Go ahead and check them out. And of course, Adronis, Life in Higher Planes. This is going to be happening on Sunday, May 16th, starting at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be an open Q&A with him as well, too. But he's going to be bringing in some guests as well, too. He's going to be bringing in some other entities, I guess you could say, other forms of consciousness that are going to come through. And they are going to depict their own experience through existence in these higher planes as well, too. It's not just going to be Adronis. He's going to be sharing some stuff. I have no idea who he's going to bring in, so it's going to be very, very interesting. But he's going to be talking about living in higher planes and what it is like to connect in these higher planes, these astral cities that are here, these communities, what existence is like in those higher planes of consciousness. And it's kind of a download for many of us, because really on that nonlinear spiritual level, we know this as well too. So he's going to kind of remind us of what those higher planes are like living in. So again, I'm looking forward to that. And again, that's happening on May 16th, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can go to newearthteachings.com and you can register there. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started with our broadcast today. Again, hello everybody from Wyoming, from Las Vegas, from California, from Idaho, from Bellingham, great, from Australia, Southwest Florida, from Philly. Awesome, guys. And Carmichael, California. Excellent. Glad you guys are here. Glad we're just getting viewers from all over the world. Really makes me happy when I see people from all over the world tuning into this live, right? It's great that we watch it through recording, but it's a good feeling when you're here live, where anything can happen, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started firstly. And from our end too, great. We're going to go ahead and get started here with the guided earth meditation. All right, so we've done this before in previous episodes. So let's get ourselves nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, as we're going to start working with Mother Earth. You can place your hands upon the center of your chest, or you can place them on the lap, whatever you feel is comfortable. And we're just going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And once again, inhale. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. Exhale. And just relaxing yourselves and breathing normally. And now I just want you to bring your focus and awareness down to the bottom of your feet. Okay, so just bringing your attention all the way down to the bottom of the feet. Feeling the feet opening up, the bottom of the feet chakra opening up. Feeling these black roots coming out through the feet and connecting deeper and deeper into the earth. So feel yourself just going through the crust, going through the mantle, going right into the core, right into the heart of Mother Earth, connecting directly with her energies. As you connect with the heart, as you connect with her core, her energies are now flowing together with you through the roots and coming directly into your body as well. And now you are becoming symbiotic. You are becoming together, simpatico and synergetic with one another. And as this connection is applied, imagining yourself now just leaving your physical human body and connecting now to the body of the earth. That you are the entire planet. That you are able to feel Mother Earth's oceans, her land masses, the sky, the atmosphere, everything internally within herself. For this is your body. You are the earth. And we're now just going to perform a scan just from the top of the northern pole, going all the way down to the bottom of the southern pole. And we're just giving the earth body a scan and feeling out any discrepancies, any pockets of black liquid dense energy upon the earth. So we may feel that upon the land masses, we may feel that upon the oceans or in the oceans, we may feel that upon the sky, within the atmosphere, we may feel it internally in the earth. Wherever it is that you feel it, just be aware of this. Let earth guide you, let your heart guide you. As you perform this scan, going all the way down to the southern pole, and now you're just being made aware of these discrepancy areas, these pockets of black liquid dense energy, representing heavy emotional turmoil, heavy debris, heavy tension. And we are now going to see just above the earth as we zoom out, we are now seeing the entire planet in our third person perspective, our omniscient perspective. And just above the earth, we are seeing the black ball. The black ball that is going to be the container to contain all of the black liquid, dense energy that very shortly you'll be putting into the black ball. Right now, I just want you to see a black root coming out of the bottom of the black ball and just connecting directly to the northern and southern poles of the planet, going deeply within and just wrapping itself around the earth, covering the entire earth from the top and bottom of her body. And as we now feel that full connection with the black roots wrapping around the earth entirely, we are now going to do the Apologetic Affirmation. So this is an apologetic affirmation that we are doing as the earth. Right? So it is our consciousness, but we are connected to the earth body. And we are doing this apologetic affirmation, bringing about apology and forgiveness, and taking action in helping to clear away these pockets of debris. So you can repeat after me with this affirmation. I apologize to the earth for being neglectful regarding these conditions. I ask for Mother Earth's forgiveness, as well as her assistance, to clear away these conditions, releasing them to Spirit, to be purified and forgiven in totality. And so it is. Okay, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. And now we are going to see all the roots now going to work and extracting all of the dense black liquid energy from these pockets that you were able to detect through the scan. And you're just feeling all of that black liquid dense energy moving up through these roots and going directly into this black ball. And this black liquid dense energy is now storing itself directly into the black ball. Just feel that release as you are the body of the earth. And you are feeling the black liquid energy moving right into the black ball, being stored there. And we'll take 1 minute of silence just as we concentrate on this now and just focus on this right now, bringing all of that black liquid dense energy directly into the black ball. Okay, just a few more seconds. Okay, take another inhale, exhale. And now all of that black liquid dense energy is contained in the black ball. If you ever want to do this again as well too, you can always just go back to the recording and you can repeat this and pause the video if you need a little bit more time to go back and place all of that black liquid dense energy into the black ball. So our next step is that we're now going to connect with Spirit. So just bringing your attention and awareness to the black ball and all of the black liquid that is within it, as I will now connect with Spirit. I command God's Spirit light to cancel out, eliminate, neutralize, and purge all of the black liquid dense energy contained within the black ball through every single participant that is participating with this meditation exercise here and now in this moment, purging all of that black liquid dense energy from the black ball that they are perceiving, putting it up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Inhale, exhale. All right, and if you are now seeing that black ball as empty, you're now seeing the black ball and the black roots dissolving away. If you still see a little bit of debris in the black ball, that's okay. You're just looking at that black ball again with your focus and your awareness, and you're just saying to it either in your mind or out loud repetitively, I love you, I love you, I love you, okay? And you're just feeling all of that black liquid dense energy evaporating away out of the ball. And once it is completely empty, feeling that black ball now starting to dissolve away and the black roots along with it. And now in its place, we're going to see the white ball. We're now going to see a white ball just directly where the black ball was previously. And the white ball is now going to extract a white root. And the exact same thing as before with the black ball, we're seeing the white root wrap itself around the entirety of the earth, inside and outside, through her northern and southern poles, through her entire body. And the white ball represents love energy, positive reinforcement. And so we are going to go into that space now. Just close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine yourself to be bodiless. And you are just flying through the air, all throughout the earth. And upon this planet, there are no humans. There are no humans, there are no human structures, there is no human presence whatsoever. It is a close, intimate connection between yourself and Mother Earth and all the life upon her all life upon her surface, naturally. So you're flying through the air. You're seeing her beautiful, mighty oceans, flying through these beautiful land masses, seeing these jungles, these beautiful rainforests, these waterfalls. As you fly throughout the oceans, seeing dolphins jumping up and out of the water, greeting you, so thankful that you are here, that your presence is with them. Seeing whales, seeing playful seals, harbor seals, sea otters, going upon the land, seeing these beautiful animals, monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutans, giraffes, hippopotamus, everything. Everything that really just brings love and happiness to your heart. And just seeing all the splendor of the earth, and just feel all of that love that you have for the earth and all of the life naturally upon her surface. And just feel that energy just moving into this white ball now. And as that energy moves into the white ball, it transmutes itself directly into white liquid. So all the love that you have for the earth here in this moment, sending all of that love to that white ball, transmuting that into white liquid, and seeing that white liquid fill up that white ball. As you have such love for the earth, as she has unconditional love for you and for all children, all life upon her body. And just feel that white liquid getting filled up more and more. And I will now connect to Spirit once again. I command God's Spirit Light to imbue Spirit Light directly into the white ball containing the loving white liquid inside the white ball for every participant that is participating with this meditation exercise here and now in this moment. Taking all of that pure white liquid energy from the white ball and distributing it throughout Mother Earth to all of the areas that is required where this energy is needed to completely fill up and rejuvenate her body with this pure, loving, white liquid given by all of her children upon this planet, viewing and participating with this exercise here and now. Seeing all of that white light liquid upon the earth, bringing complete and total rejuvenation, regeneration, replenishment, repair, purification, and perfection back into Mother Earth's body entirely. Apply. Inhale, exhale. And just seeing all of that white liquid now, leaving the white ball, coming directly into the earth, upon the earth. And just feeling like the white liquid is being so radiant that it's turning the earth into a white shining star. Beautifully radiant, beautifully bright and luminescent. And now just feeling all of that white liquid, that radiance, grounding and embedding and imbuing itself directly into the material world of Mother Earth. The land masses, the oceans, the internalness of the earth, grounding all of this pure loving energy from her children directly to you. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay. And we'll now come back into the present moment, coming back into your physical bodies now. And just take this moment, giving a love, giving blessing, giving love to Mother Earth, thanking her for her presence, thanking her for her love. And then again, we are just being these good children, giving that love directly back to Mother Earth. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for participating with that. Hope that was very enriching for you. The next thing we're going to do now is the group healing. Okay, so we're going to, last week we were working with the chakra centers. We're not going to do that this week. We're just going to work with clearing out any a specific area within yourself. Okay, and we're just going to do that with spirit code commands. So again, just getting yourself nice and comfortable, as I'm sure you pretty much are if you've already done the previous meditation. Okay, placing your hands upon the center of your chest, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And now you are going to scan your body, okay? Just seeing this green beam coming at the top of your head, slowly scanning down. And I want you just to find an area that you feel holds the greatest level of discrepancy, okay? That may hold a very large pocket relating to the black liquid dense energy, okay? So maybe that's in your throat, maybe that's a headache you have, maybe that's a back pain that you have, maybe it's a knee pain that you have, whatever it is. You're just scanning your body right now. Just feeling that beam going all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And I want you now just to pick that one spot, okay? Pick that one pocket, one area where you see that black liquid dense energy very intensely. And I just want you to focus and concentrate on that area. Okay? And again, with our hands upon the center of our chest, we're just going to see the black ball contained in the center of the chest, just as we saw previously the black ball for the earth. Seeing that black ball here. And again, just seeing a black root coming out of that black ball and putting it directly into that area of discrepancy. That area that has a great deal of black liquid dense energy within it. And you're seeing roots now wrapping around that specific area of your body. And once again, we're going to do the apologetic affirmation. So you can repeat after me. I apologize to my body for being neglectful regarding this condition. I ask for my body's forgiveness, as well as its assistance, to clear away this condition, releasing it to spirit, to be purified and forgiven in totality. And so it is. And now with the black roots, feeling the black roots just absorbing all of that black liquid dense energy, putting it into the black ball now in the center of your chest. I'll give you guys just a few moments to do that now. Okay, with all of that black liquid dense energy now contained in the black ball in your chest, we're now going to release that. So I'll now connect with spirit. I command God's spirit light to cancel out, eliminate, neutralize, and purge all of the black liquid dense energy contained within the black ball of every participant that is participating with this meditation exercise here and now in this moment. Releasing all of that black liquid dense energy from your body, putting it up into source consciousness to be completely purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Inhale, exhale. All right. So with that black ball now empty, feeling that black ball fading away. If there's a little bit of debris there, just as I told you before with the earth meditation, saying I love you, I love you, I love you, repetitively, to that little bit of debris there, clearing it away entirely. And as you do, that black ball fades away, black roots fade away, and the white ball now takes its place. Okay. So with that white ball now, what I want you to do within yourself is, again, you're going into positive thinking. You're going into positive feeling. All right. So you may feel, again, like what you were feeling with the earth, that love for the animals, the love for nature, the love for earth. That is a wonderful positive feeling. Okay. And you're putting that directly into the white ball and feeling that white liquid filling up inside that white ball. Okay. Maybe other things. You're visiting your angels. You're seeing your family as your higher selves, as their higher selves. And you're interacting with your family as their higher selves. You're going into this beautiful space. Okay? We are taking everything destructive and we are turning it into constructiveness. We are taking everything stagnant and we are turning it into creativity. Okay, so turn your stagnancy into creativity. Turn your destruction into construction. Okay, so basically feeling that constructive creativity, that love, that compassion, that joy that you know that you have. The best way for you to realize that it's there is looking at the inner child. Okay, going back into the younger years, going back when you were 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. All you wanted to do was play. All you wanted to do was have fun. All you wanted to do was spread love. You want to go back to that younger version of yourself now. You want to go back into the inner child, because that is the personification of the soul. The personification of the soul is the inner child. It's not the adult. The adult's too dumb, right? Don't worry about being an adult. They're too stupid. Come into the child, because the child is not programmed. It is an unprogrammable, incorruptible essence. That's what you're coming into right now. Go into the inner child. Go into the true intelligence. Leave the dumb adult behind. Okay? The programmed dumb adult, we burn that away. Goes off into the violet flame, into the silver flame, into the white flame. Okay? So all of you right now are 3 to 5 years old. Okay? And you're taking all that love, all that joy. Maybe I got some giggles coming through with people right now. That's great, right? I want to talk to your 3 to 5 years old self. I was doing this, cuz, and I like this, cuz, and this is great, cuz, right? You know, be the 3 to 5 year old self, okay? And just connecting directly with the white ball now, feeling all of that love energy, all of that white liquid, filling up into the white ball, okay? So feeling that white ball completely filled. And now we're going to connect with Spirit. I command God's Spirit light to imbue pure spirit codes directly into the white liquid contained within the white ball of every participant that is participating with this meditation exercise here and now, taking all of that pure white light liquid energy and putting it directly into the areas of their body that require it, filling their entire body with this pure, loving white light liquid, radiating them like a star, bringing complete and total regeneration, replenishment, repurification, and perfection into their body and their entire being. Apply. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and just take a moment now to let all of that light, like I said, you're feeling like yourself as you're a shining star. Okay? And you're just taking all of that love energy and you're putting it into yourself, imbuing it, okay? Grounding it into yourself, all right? And just relaxing yourself as you imbue this love energy. And just be in your own space right now, because I'm feeling it myself. See how good it feels to be your inner child, right? Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for participating. And just looking at the live chat. Oh, Zach, my goodness, dude, you got to cut back on the caffeine. You're posting too much here, man. Zach, take it easy. Just relax. Enjoy these things. I know you have a lot of things to share. Zach, you and I have been talking over email, okay? The greatest way of a teacher to be a teacher is humility, okay? It's not telling people what to do. It's not saying to follow teachings. It's not to do any of that stuff, okay? It's to be yourself and be your radiance. When a teacher can actually come up to a person and not say anything, and there is a precious moment there, that is the beautiful moment between two masters. That is the beautiful moment between two gods, right? So just be aware, guys. Let's make sure we give other people a chance to chat on the live chat, right? We just want to make sure that we're kind of just listening to other people, right? There are some people that talk about Jesus, and Jesus is king, and Jesus is light. It's all good. It's all good. They're not going to be damned to hell because they talk about that. They're not going to be damned to hell because they have these particular states of belief, right? Everybody in the live chat is welcome to share whatever it is that they want to share, right? So let's move into a calmness. Let's give other people a chance to talk here as well too, okay? Especially when those of you in that sense who have had a very profound moment, when you've had a lot of inception coming through, you've had a lot of spiritual nature, less words, more love. I want you just to imagine that you're just connecting to the live chat right now, and you're just putting this pure love directly upon it, right? That loving white light that you felt inside that white ball, put it on the live chat. That's greater than any words that you can ever speak. It's better than what I'm doing here, right? Me just saying these words, these are distortions, okay? It's that feeling, it's that heart, it's that soul, it's that center, okay? That is what's going to bring about a great prosperity to yourself and to those reflecting within your reality, okay? Okay, guys, so again, thank you for joining me with the meditation exercises. We are now going to go ahead and move on to Q&A. Now, there was a person at the very, very top of the chat earlier who asked a question. It was from Biff. He says, can we ask Adronis for assistance the same way we asked Jesus for support? It's an interesting way of putting it, but people have communicated with Adronis when I was not around, right? So they can basically call in Adronis. You can connect to his frequency, right? Just saying his name, and he's there, okay? But the whole idea is you have to move yourself up into his bandwidth, okay? So if he's up here, you want to bring yourself at least about a good halfway. Okay, and you basically, as you say Adronis, as you kind of tune into me when I'm channeling him, you get a feeling of his energy. And there are people who have been able to call him in. There have actually been people who have had projected encounters with him, where he's actually projected into their room, and he's shared some certain things with them. And it may have just been a feeling in that way, or a single word, or what have you. There's been situations where he's been a flash of light in the sky. So yes, people have had personal encounters with Adronis. They haven't really channeled him in the way that I channel him. From what I've been told by Adronis, I'm the only one that really channels him in that way. But there have been some people who've done channeled writing with him as well too. So if you guys do want to talk with Adronis, outside of when I am here, you can, right? He's certainly available to many people, but it's just to show that you are raising up to his frequency. He's a very powerful frequency. He's a very strong frequency. He has kind of that very strong, empowered masculinity within himself. And the same thing with Rayar, right? Rayar is just the empowered feminine, right? So you can connect with their energy as well too. They're more than happy to come in and share insight together with you. But again, if you're familiar with going into channeling, that is what's going to help you, right? You want to listen to your heart. You want to listen to your feelings. Like I said, some people have had projected encounters with him simply because that just served their purpose. It served their function to have that kind of connection with him, okay? All right, so we're going to go into the live chat now. Switch windows here. Okay, let me just go down the list here. So if you guys do have questions for myself or for Adronis, you can go ahead and share that on the chat. Okay. Okay. Okay, this one is from Pseudo Wolf. It's kind of a political question. I'm not really too fond of those, but since you asked, Adronis can come through and share some insight with that. The question is, what can you say about the current situation in Turkey? Are there white hat movements going on similar to Trump's movement? Turkish population seems to have given up all hope. Okay, so there's a little bit of mix and match with that. So let me go ahead and bring in Adronis, and he can share some insight on this. Okay, one moment. So I'm going to be bringing him in kind of a mediumship. I don't know if I call it mediumistic or mediumship, whatever you call it, in a medium-like quality, just because it's a little bit more easier for me to connect with him and get to more questions. Okay, here we go. Terra Soul Star Sirius Adronis. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction. We say hello to everyone that is here in this moment of your time. We hear the question relating to the idea of what you term as your country of Turkey. What is happening there? Are there white hats, as you would say, upon that country? What is happening in regards to this? Feels like people are giving up hope. You have to understand that even though we're not just speaking about your country of Turkey, we are talking about the entire planet. Things are going to heat up. You see, when many of you are giving up hope, you're not giving up hope for very long. That's going to turn into resolve, because you are seeing what is happening right here, and you realize that everything that's taking place upon your planet is meant to boil over. It's meant to heat up. It's like a stove element, where you have a pot of water, and you have that stove element at maximum heat, and it is now starting to boil over. It is not just the idea of a boiling over, but it is an explosion that is going to take place. The idea of the people of Turkey is that they have had a rough time because they have completely denied much of the weaponization-based agendas that many of these globalist, elitist ploy makers, as Brad terms them, have been attempted to bring into the country. It is not just Turkey, it is India as well too. There are several other countries that have said no to these ploy makers. And because they have said no, they in that sense go into states of retaliation. Because the intention of the ploy makers is to try and make this worldwide, is to try and bring in their agendas worldwide. And if they cannot come into a country, they will stoop to the idea of electromagnetic wave attacks, very commonly found within your 5G technologies, within certain satellites as well too. So they will therefore retaliate, and the reason why they're retaliating is because they are fading off into the mists. They are declining. And this is why many countries are feeling a bombardment and are feeling a very, very heavy attack from these ploy makers, because they do not want their vaccinations. They do not want poisons among their people. They do not want their agendas. They have said no to them. And this is their retaliation as such. It is not going to last. We understand that Brad himself, in that way, does not really make predictions anymore. Nor are we. But nonetheless, we are offering a sharing here. That as you start to move forward in these next couple months, it is a very strong feeling, a forecast in that way, that you are going to see more and more of that heavy intensity from the ploy maker's side decline, because the intensity is going to switch over to those who are opposing this rule, who are opposing these agendas, who are opposing these ploy makers. Now, what we are sharing here is not here to spread fear. It is not here to spread animosity in any particular way. But what is happening upon your planet right now is the death of the corrupt. That is what's happening. This is how they are going to go out. You have to understand that these are not graceful beings. They are not going to bow their heads and saying, "We've lost, we'll bow out with honor." No. They will retaliate. They will fight until their last breath. Because the last thing they want is to leave this world, is to transition, because they are scared to death of it. And they will go to every form of extreme possible to try to preserve their empire. So we want you to pay attention to this, because we have talked about this before. They are going to go to every extreme possible to preserve their empire. That is why you're feeling so much heat, so much emotional heat on the planet right now. Why do you think that is? Because they are dying. Because they are desperate. Because they are running out of options. They don't really have any other viable options to utilize. This is why they hang on to this agenda. And if a country does not go along with it, they bombard it with attacks, quite often electromagnetic, 5G technology. That is what's causing a great deal of harm to the people of India. It's not because of a virus. It is your 5G technology that is the perpetrator for that. So what we suggest is just like you were able to do earlier. You work with the earth. You work with these countries. You work together. That is where your power remains, rather than seeing some outside force come in and saying, oh, they'll save us. No. You will only exist in a delusion if you are thinking that. It is about the idea that you are all coming together, all 8 billion people on this planet, coming together and sending love, sending power, sending strength, sending compassion, all throughout the entire lands. And that is what's going to empower more people. It will be in the air. It will be in the very thing that you breathe. There is the love. There is that thickness of love and compassion and true strength. And that's what's going to bring the people together. If you continue to divide yourselves, if you continue to say, this is not my problem, this is not my issue, then you are going to become weakened. Because there is no strength in division. There is strength in unification. And that is the idea here. All of this is happening for the human race to work together. All of this is happening to put all of your differences aside. That it is not about nations or creeds or cultures or ethnicities or religious fundamentalism, anything of that nature. You're all human beings. More importantly than that, you're all souls. And you're coming together. When humanity comes together, you will see this entire ordeal come to an end. Completely. Just like that. Because you're all united in the same feeling. You're helping each other out. Well, Adronis, what about this half and half and divisions, etc., etc.? Again, you cannot do anything for those who are divided. But you can do something for those who are unified. Work with those who are unified together with you. That work together for a common cause. That share together in a common feeling. That is what you work with. Brad has already shared about the idea of those who are closed off, of those who do not want help. Let them be. Come into the people who do want to unify, who do want to make a difference, who do want to help each other, who do want to spread love, who do want to gather strength. That is how you resolve this. Because this will continue to happen and heat up more and more and more and more until you do that. Come together in a united feeling. Organize together. Work together. Love together. Spread that love together. Because that is what's going to make the difference. All right? Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Suda Wolf, for your question. Okay, let me go ahead and go down a little bit further. Okay, here's one from Davijan. Davijan asked the question, Adronis, is every planet hollow? What are stars and planets filled with, and why? Okay. We thank you, Davijan, for your question. The idea of what you term as hollow Earths are not quite accurate. So the idea of many of you who feel that this planet is hollow, that is not entirely true. We have talked about this before, that it is the nature of a clustered Earth, or what you would know as a honeycomb style Earth, where there are vaults, where there are pockets contained within the planet. And that these vaults, in that sense, can represent territories to where other internal civilizations do dwell. But you are looking at honeycomb. You are looking at a soccer ball in that way pertaining to its geometry. And these hexagonal cells. And that is the natural geometry of your Earth. That's how it is. This is exactly how we are seeing it. It's exactly how it is built. It's exactly how it is constructed. It is not hollow. There are certain hollow points within the Earth, but it's like looking at your own body. When you look at your own body within, is it hollow? No. There are certain hollow tubes, there are hollow veins, there are hollow blood vessels, etc. but it all moves together through a fluid chemical system. The same goes with the earth. She has internal organs. They are just of a different make from yourselves. So it is not appropriate to look at the idea of your earth being hollow or being flat. All right? Soccer ball, clustered earth, honeycomb earth. All other planets function together with this state of geometry. All right? Even your own sun. Your sun also follows in this state of geometry. But it has moved forward into what you would know as a higher etheric level of beingness. As we stated, that your sun neither has light nor has heat. It has the idea of etheric waves, etheric plumes, etheric fields. And that is what represents its nature. You cannot even really, in that sense, in this physical plane, see the sun as it truly is. When you start to actually move up the plane, then you may actually see something that would represent fire. You would actually start to see something that would represent light. But it operates on a very, very different frequency. We have talked about the nature of the sun before. That it is about the idea that your planets each have their own internal climatary systems. They also have their own internal heating systems. They also have their internal luminescent systems as well too. Planets are able to cast their own light. Did you know that? This is why when you actually look at Earth from afar, you may actually mistake it for a star. Why do you think that when you see Venus and when you see Jupiter in the sky, that they appear like stars? Because they have their own luminescence to them. It is not the idea of looking at the sun like a fireball, because it's not. All right? It is a collector. It is a reflector. It is taking its own etheric gamma radiation frequencies, these rays, coming upon your Earth and ricocheting back up towards the atmosphere. And the less there is oxygen, the colder it gets. So the whole idea in that sense about why space is cold is because there's no oxygen in space. It is the oxygen itself in regards to a certain chemical compound together with the O2, relating together with the nature of these rays from the sun that are coming in that creates heat. So therefore, as it starts to bounce up back up towards the atmosphere where there is really no oxygen whatsoever, it becomes cold. So this is why the idea of space is cold exists. But when you're going onto planetary spheres, they are habitats. And each of them have their own appropriate makes altogether. So when you're looking at the idea of the sun, yes, it is honeycomb, similar to the idea of the planets. But again, it does not have its own fire. It does not have its own light. It does not have its own warmth. It is not of that in this frequency dimension. It is bringing about these rays to encourage the light and the warmth from their own planets, basically putting it together into a collection point. Therefore, when you see that bright sun in your sky, the light is of the earth, not of the sun. The heat is of the earth, not of the sun, because of your oxygen content. All right? This is what we can share at this time pertaining to this question. We thank you. Okay. Thank you, Davijan. And I think we got a contribution here. Oh, thank you to Det. You're amazing too. And if you guys do want to have questions ahead of the lineup, you can contribute, because I do answer contributed questions first. Okay. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. You guys have some positive questions here, right? Let's get the love flowing here a little bit more. I guess we'll tackle this one here. It's not too positive, but we'll take a look at this. Adronis, can people who have gotten the V, right, shed or transferred to others? Are non-V people at risk from this? Okay. We thank you very much for your question. The best way to put it is, it depends. It all depends. It all depends upon one's immune system. It all depends in regards to the sequences of inoculations that have been given, because some are getting more than one of these inoculations. It all really depends. So in that sense, it is true that some people can actually spread the idea of their sicknesses through the idea of reproduction, through the idea of sexual connection. All right, that is one particular way. There are those in that sense that can, in that sense, through the exchange of saliva or the exchange of blood, can also create the idea of spreading what is contained in these inoculations as well too. So the best thing that we can share, it all depends. It all depends upon what is taken. It all depends upon the person. It all depends in regards to the amount of inoculations taken and so forth. So our answer is, it depends. All right? Thank you. Okay, thank you, Stillman. Let me just go down the list here. Okay. Someone asked Adronis, what is keeping you up at night? What are your problems you want to talk about? Well, I can basically cover this one. To my notice, guys, I've been channeling Adronis now for almost 13 years. I have never noticed him once to have a problem. He does not exist in an egoic sphere like we do, okay? That is not who Adronis is. There's people who have asked that. I was like, does Adronis need to share anything? Does Adronis need to give anything up? No, guys. He wouldn't be much of a guide if he was basically completely and totally insecure. Okay, that's not the domain that he exists in. Where he exists, it's not even looking at something that's fundamentally positive or something that's fundamentally negative. It just is, right? It's isness. This is why he has no problem really going into questions that may seem very intense, or again, questions that may be very, very lighthearted. You know, he does not have the idea of feeling that, oh, Adronis must be insecure, or he has some ego stuff and all that stuff. No. If it's anything that represents some ego stuff, it's from the channel, right? And certainly at times I've had that myself. But from when I've connected with Adronis, like I said, guys, I've been channeling him 13 years almost daily, okay? I know him better than any of you guys. And there has never been any particular sense in my way about looking at Adronis or Rayar in a state of insecurity. Where they come from is such a beautiful space. Where they come from is just pure essence of goodness, pure bliss. But like I said, he plays with the spectrum. He goes to the contrast. He's not bashful to go into certain questions and share it in this way, whether they're intense or whether they're lighthearted, right? But no, it's not about that, right? He does not exist with the ego to how we exist, because we exist on a very unique plane, guys. Here's the thing. It's not just Adronis. It's many other of these civilizations that exist on other spheres. The ego that we have as human beings is extremely unique, okay? It's pretty much just unique to this planet, okay? There are those that may have egos, but not to the degree like what we have. We are fragile creatures, okay? Especially if we're not doing our inner work. We're very fragile. And we look at somebody else and say, oh, well, they must be fragile as well, too. If you're looking at some other higher dimensional consciousness, oh, they must be fragile, too. No, they stripped it away. They've been refined in that particular way. This is why Adronis comes forward in the state of a guide, because he's been able to strip this away. If he didn't have that, then he wouldn't function that well as a guide, right? So just be aware of that. It's not about Adronis having to come in and do therapy time. Okay, he doesn't require that, because where he exists, the ego of this nature does not exist. Okay, he is just observing it through us, and he sees that it's observing through us. And again, that's all just a reflection, right? And this is why he's come here to assist and to help and to clear away a lot of this fragility that we carry on our sleeves. Okay, so moving on. Okay. Okay, Aditya here has a question about the hoax alien invasion. Okay, so I basically talked about this in a previous video. Okay, one of my videos talks about a hoax alien invasion. Don't fall for it. It's hard to say if that's actually going to get off the ground or not, right? Because I have talked about the idea of a hoax alien invasion. I've been talking about it for years, right? So have several other experts as well too, have been talking about a hoax alien invasion. In my honest opinion, I don't think it's going to get off the ground, but they're trying to make it happen. Okay, this is why there's a lot of UFO reports and UFO sightings on mainstream media networks, and that's kind of like their finale card. That's like them picking up their card and saying, okay, this is our last one. This is our last card. Throw it down on the desk. Let's spin the hoax alien invasion angle, right? Here are some other cards and previous cards here. Okay, here's COVID-19. Poof, here's one of our cards right there. Here's a climate change agenda. Oh, that one's foiled. Can't do that one. Guys, we're down to our last card. We're down to the alien invasion. And that's what they're throwing down on the desk. So in that sense, their climate agenda one was foiled. This is basically the evergreen incident, right? The ever given, the evergreen barge incident in that way, where there was a lot of technology that was basically confiscated and smashed to bits and dismantled. And now they can't do that because that was going to lead to the creation of artificial beef. It was going to lead to the destruction of farms and agriculture and all that. And they were going to try and dim the sun, right? That's been completely canceled out. That's been completely abolished. That's been completely averted. So there's a lot of, I just refer to them as the counter forces. There's a lot of the counter forces behind the scenes that are basically putting a big stamp on their agendas and saying denied. The only reason why they're able to do the CV-19 in the way that they have been is because it's going to lead to the conclusion of their own destruction, right? This is actually what's going to take them out. So this is why the CV-19 was allowed to get certain steam up to a certain point. But again, if you really talk to many people now, they're not really concerned about viruses in this way. They're not considered about the corona whatsoever, right? They know it's a sham. They know it's a scheme. They know it's a hoax. It's very obvious right now. Even to people who you didn't think before would actually feel this way are now starting to feel this way. Yeah, of course it is. It's a big sham. It's a big scam. It's a big hoax. It's ridiculous. It's revolting. And it's going to go down. Absolutely. But again, this is what we need. You have to really look at this again, guys, as the signs of the time, right? The signs of the time are letting you know that when so much change upon this planet is happening, this is what you're going to experience. If there was no change happening upon the planet, we'd all be mellow yellow, right? We would not have these shutdowns. We would not have these lockdowns. We would not have these agendas happening right now. If you had absolutely no form of change happening whatsoever, it would be a very mellow yellow situation. But it's not. Change is happening so absolutely profoundly, so intensely, so quickly, that again, those who have been the ploy makers are panicking. They are panicking to death. And it's again, as I've talked about in 2021. When Adronis came through and talked about 2021, it's the year of transition. It's the year of death. Don't you think that's happening right now? It is, right? And like I said, this is why I don't really do prediction videos anymore. Because again, some people just can't see these signs. They can't see these things. They expect something to be broadcast right on mainstream media. That's exactly what Brad said. Okay, so this needs to be on CNN. This needs to be on MSNBC. This needs to be on Fox News. No, guys. Those are ploys. Those are tools for the ploy makers. Those are their platforms. They are going to do everything they can to keep that out of the platforms, to keep it off the internet in the best way they can. The only way you're really going to see what's really happening is when you go underground. When you go into the underground veins, right, of the internet. And you may start to look at certain things. You're not going to see it on your beloved CNN. You're not going to see it on your MSNBC. You're not going to see it on your Fox News. You're not going to see it on your Newsmax. Okay? It's not going to be on any of those things. It's underground. The greatest way to see this, again, is through yourself. It's through your own true self. It's through connecting with spirit. Sharing this, because that's how I've gotten a lot of what Momentum is telling me here. A lot of it comes through guidance. A lot of it comes through downloads. There's times where I'm seeing other people and they're working with this, and there's kind of corroboration there, and that's great. And I see that too. But the whole idea, again, about these fake alien invasions and COVID agendas and climate change agenda and all that stuff, these are all desperation attempts, because what they're trying to do is trying to bring their order back. They're trying to bring their empire back. They're trying to reinstitute their foundations again when it's all falling apart behind the scenes. And they think that they can do that by completely engulfing the entire planet in fear. Guess what, ploy makers? It doesn't work that way anymore. People aren't going to fall for your BS anymore. And that's what's happening. So we're seeing them be so desperate. So come on, guys, get afraid, get afraid. We want to control you. We want to control you. Get back into our establishment. Get back into our empire. Now, 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 now. Or we'll do this, or we'll do that, or we'll do this. Fear, 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 fear. What happens is when the entire planet is blanketed in love, they have no power at all. And that's what's starting to happen. You guys look on your social media and you look at your media platforms and you see people screaming and yelling and all that stuff. You're not looking at the true world. You're looking at proxies. You're looking at prisms. You're looking at your social media, and you're looking at your mainstream media, and you're looking at these videos in that sense. And all you've ever been doing is looking at reality through a lens. And you are deluding yourself by doing that. You need to step out. You need to talk to your neighbors. You need to talk to people in your city. You need to really look about through your own eyes about what is actually happening. And you're going to realize there's a lot more loving people on this planet than there are fearful. Okay? So if you think Facebook is going to tell you the condition of the world, you're deluding yourself. If you think beloved little YouTube videos are going to tell you the condition of the world, you're deluding yourself. If you think the mainstream media is going to tell you the condition of the world, you're heavily deluding yourself. Okay? There's a lot more love on this planet than you give it credit for. Because I see it. I see it in my space. I see it in my neighborhood. I see it in my city. I go within. I look into the collective consciousness. There is a love revolution happening. And people say, oh, we're suffering, we're suffering, we're suffering. Well, yeah, there is that, of course, because there's dividing lines. There's a great divide taking place. But rather than you focusing so much on suffering and hate and misery and fear and all that, you need to look into yourself, because this is all happening within yourself. You have to shift. You have to move into these higher grounds and say, I'm going to transmute all of this. Just like what you guys did earlier with the earth meditation, the group healing meditation, right? You guys did it. You felt the inner child. The adult is dumb. Okay? The personality that you have, no offense, is stupid. Because my personality is stupid. Okay? Personality itself is just a product of the ego. And the ego itself is the apex of everything that is dumb and stupid and idiotic. Because it doesn't know what it's doing. It's a complete and total bundle of programs and artificial systems. Yet we value it. Why? That's the thing that's going to be burnt away. That's the thing that's going to be shrunken down to the size of a dot and blown away. And then you come into the true self. You come into self-inquiry. You come into the I am. Right? You come into the I. You come into the true self. You come into God. That's the true you. And that is much more like a little child than anything else. When you are the younger child, when you are that inner child, that's the true you. That's who you are. That's your nature, right? So, am I offending anybody here? Maybe. But is it the truth? It is. Your personality is dumb. It's stupid. It's an idiot. My personality is dumb. It's stupid. It's an idiot. The ego is dumb. It's stupid. It's an idiot. Okay? And so this is what we're working on. We're shrinking down the ego, because that's where your fear exists. It comes through you trying to put dependency upon the ego. You're not willing to look at yourself and move yourself into higher places, into higher space, which you can do. I've already taught you guys how you can do this. You got to do the work. But when you know you're going to need it the most, you're going to do it. That's it, right? Otherwise, it's just kind of sitting in a pan right now. But when things start heating up, you're going to start going to this, not just through what I offer, but with many others, with what they offer and helping to teach you about going into the higher space, going into love, going into compassion, going into truth, strength. Love is strength. It is not weakness. If you are basically shambled, if you're feeling fragile in that sense, you are at the weakest level of your being you can ever imagine. When you're fragile, when you're egoic, you are extremely weak. Okay? You're weakened. It's like just being completely bombarded with viruses. You're weakened and you're fragile, and you're not even being a true human being in that way. You're just basically a heap of mess, right? So the whole idea is, and you see it. You see it through your emotions. You see it through your ego. You see it through the fear. You see it through the anger, your animosity towards everybody else. This is a weakness. This is you impairing yourself. That's not who you truly are, right? Who you truly are is this beautiful, bright, infinite, eternal being of consciousness. You are God, and God is you. We're all here to learn how to be gods in training, okay? So something just to look at. I know I went a little off track here with the ET invasion, but nonetheless, it had to be shared, all right? Okay, here's a contribution from Julie. Thank you very much, Julie. Are there any preparations that would be in our best interest to do the rest of this year's events? To do for the rest of this year's events? Yeah, just exactly what I've told you. Work with love, work with joy, work with happiness, work with compassion, work with strength, okay? Become a strong being, because that's your nature. It's who you are, right? Love. Love is going to lead the way. Guys, hands up. If you guys seen the BCR technique on my YouTube channel, okay, I don't know if I can see hands up here, but if you basically just mentally put your hands up and saying, well, that's what you use. Okay? Have you seen my black ball, white ball method on my YouTube channel? Mental hands up. Then that's what you use. You go to newearthtv.live for free, and you see the Spirit Ambassador Classroom, all 12 modules, and that is there for you. And it goes into great detail about how you can apply all of these things that I'm teaching to helping you out in that way, because it's helped me. This is why I share it with you guys, right? My life has fundamentally changed. Am I running around like a worrywart about what's happening on the planet? No, not one bit. Because I see the signs that are coming. I see all these things, right? If we get into panic mode, we weaken ourselves. We become fragile. We become completely and totally dilapidated with ourselves. And we go in, we start creating a journal, okay? We create that journal, we post it, we write into it every single day, and we say, what are my challenges? What are my triumphs? What do I need to work on? How can I help myself? Well, I got the tools now. I got the BCR technique. I got the black ball, white ball technique. I got these techniques at my disposal, and they're free. Brad's offered them for free, okay? You go to my channel, you type out black ball, white ball method. You go to my channel, you type out BCR TC technique, and they're free. And you try them, and you do them. You work with them daily. Like I said, guys, give yourself 30 days. Every single morning you wake up, BCR TC technique, okay? And you can add that with the black ball, white ball technique as well too. And we're just clearing ourselves out. We can procrastinate. Yeah, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. No, you won't. No, you won't. You prefer the company of fear. You prefer the company of anxiety, of hatred, of anger, of sabotage, of all that. That's what you're basically telling yourself. I prefer the ego. I prefer the dumb, stupid, moronic, idiotic ego than moving myself into greater strength. And that has to be your choice, right? No matter how many times I lecture you guys about doing this, because I come on here and I see you guys still asking the same questions. What can we do to get ourselves into preparation? Guys, I've already told you. I've told you to death about what you can do. You're not listening. Or maybe you're just tuning into this for the first time. I don't know. But again, all of this is here. You guys have the tools. You guys can email me. Okay? You guys can get sessions off me, whatever. And you can talk to me if you're having trouble. Okay? This is, again, why I do the weekly broadcasts for free. Okay? To help you guys out. Because you are me. I am you. All right? Okay, going down a little bit more. We're going to take a couple more questions here. Just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just going through some questions here. Yeah, true. It is evident that the dark forces are acting out of desperation. It's exactly what they're doing. It's exactly why we see the heat up on the planet. I'm glad you're seeing this, Mars. Thank you. Super Cali, as I just call her. There's a huge influx of people moving from Canada, New York, California to Florida. Is unbelievable. The state of Florida is going to be a game changer in this situation. Well, yeah, you're going to see that the signs are pointing to it, right? The good news is that there's quite a few states in the U.S. that are taking off the end mask agenda, right? The end of the mask mandate, right? So there's Florida, Texas is another one, Mississippi. There's quite a few other ones as well too that are starting to do that. That's great, because that's going to be a wave. That's eventually going to come up to the Great White North, because our politicians up here in Canada are complete and total morons. Or basically just in bed with the ploy mongers, so to speak, the ploy makers. So yeah, I'd say the United States is really doing well with many of their governors coming in and saying, let's end this. We know it's BS, and we're going to put an end to it. So yeah, Florida is definitely getting some strong population. Now we just need that kind of intelligence up here in Canada, because our politicians are complete and total morons. No offense to them, right? They're beautiful souls, but their egos, as I said, are morons. Personality is dumb. So yes, thank you for that. Let's go down the list a bit more. Okay. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm just looking at some more questions here. I'm just seeing that if there's kind of good questions here that would be really, really good to share with others. Kind of bring a new transformation, a good energy on that space here. ER, thank you for your contribution. $5, thank you. Okay, someone asked here, ER says, can you recommend a good underground current event source? Well, like I said, I'd say that the true source is yourself, right? Is the heart, is the spirit. I don't know. I'm kind of in between this question here, right? Can I recommend a good underground source? Some people will just go like into 4chan or 8chan in that way. They may actually feel something really good there. Really, the whole idea is the information that you get, if it passes through the truthness of the heart, then that's what you know is something good, because it resonates with you, right? Something that resonates with you, right? It's basically, like I said, if you're talking to your next door neighbor is underground or grassroots in that particular way. You're talking to your best friend and they are just open like you are. That's a great underground, right? That's a good route. There have been some kind of ups and downs with this particular person, okay, throughout the years that I've talked to, as I've not really talked to them, but basically looked at their stuff. Benjamin Fulford, okay. I do look at his reports weekly, right? There's sometimes he's been kind of hit and miss, but again, it's me looking through the truth filter, right? I look through that filter and I see certain things. Okay, he's saying kind of what I've been saying right now. He's looking at things that I've been saying right now. So Benjamin Fulford would be one of them. But like I said, he's kind of hit and miss at times. And I never really meet a person who's 100% spot on. There's always something there. Even medical medium, he's not 100% right on. There's still some things that he's kind of hit and miss as well too. And that's just how it is, right? You're never going to find a 100% perfectly informative being incarnated on this planet. Or it's looking at the idea of your own truth, of your own resonance. So those are just some things I'm suggesting, right? Work with your own inner circle. Most importantly, work with your heart, work with spirit, because spirit tells you all these things. You just have to move into that alignment. And you guys learn how to do that. Spirit Ambassador Classroom, BCRTC, black ball, white ball. Okay. Let me go down the list here a bit more. Okay. And Super Kelly, thank you for the contribution as well. Love you too. Thank you. Okay. Okay, here's an interesting question here from Hans Thuis. Hans says, question to Adronis. How can frequencies from electric appliances like solar panels, inverters be harmonized? Can crystals do the job? If yes, which ones? Thanks. Okay, one moment. We thank you very much for your question. As it relates to the idea of harmonic natures of devices in that sense, yes, you would look into crystal technology, but not just the crystals themselves. You see, you become the power source to that, which means you're actually taking a crystal and you're charging it with love. So you could do this with a quartz crystal. You could do this with an amethyst crystal, for example. And what you're doing is, even if you have a simple device, but you have actually taken a crystal and you have supercharged it with pure love, you can just put it beside the instrument. And that love energy will therefore start to bring about a field, a harmonious field around that particular instrument. So you can utilize the idea of, shall we say, working around that particular device. If there are certain forms of crystals that you actually want to put into the device, you certainly can. But in that sense, we would really suggest that you're actually redeveloping the device altogether so that you know the entire infrastructure of the device, from the very first circuit to the very first board that you're all putting together. So in another word, we would say working with custom-made devices and actually being able to put harmonic equivalents of technology within the device so that it functions harmoniously. So basically, when you're using a crystal, basically when you are therefore creating fields of harmony, again, Om chants is another way that you can do this, right? So working with crystals, working with Om chants, working with love, working with harmonious energies that therefore create a field. 0-point energy, scalar waves, which again, just represent different degrees of fields. Radionics, again, representing another type of field. And you are incorporating that into your devices that you wish to utilize. But if you are able to have the means to therefore go into custom-made devices, to bring about these idea of crystals, and therefore placing in harmonic fields to these devices, that brings about the greatest benefit. All right? Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Hans, for your question. Okay, let me go down a bit more. We're going to take about 3 more questions here, guys. We're going to wrap up. Okay, I know people just keep asking these political questions, but one from NM. Are Russia and China on the rise, aligned together and becoming a superpower? Are United States in permanent decline? And again, if I really talk about this stuff, I'm really just talking about illusion to you guys, right? There really is no such thing as a superpower. You're the superpower. It's not through a country, okay? But basically, there is a working together of being able to balance the wealth all across the planet, from the east to the west. Right now, a lot of the east has control of it, right? But there is a lot of plans, a lot of agendas through the counter forces behind the scenes to basically take a lot of that wealth and distribute it evenly across the planet. But in order for that to happen, a lot of the ploy makers need to be taken out of the situation. They need to be taken out of their positions of power. They need to be out of the scene altogether. As that happens, yes, there will be an even distribution of that. So I would really not say that it is about one particular nation or two particular nations in that way. Right? China has held a certain degree of wealth for a very great deal of time, but I would not refer to them as a superpower. I don't refer to any country as a superpower. You're the superpower, right? So yes, there's a lot of Eastern control relating to a lot of the world's wealth in that way. But physical wealth is not what's going to make you wealthy. It's your heart. It's your soul. That's what makes you wealthy. But yes, there are agendas to come to basically evenly distribute a lot of the physical wealth across the entire planet. But a lot of those ploy makers have to be out of the positions first before that can happen. Okay? Okay. Just going down the list here. Cody, you asked a really good question, man. Thank you for that. Cody, when we become a galactic civilization, can we teach other civilizations about the difference between each of our earthly cultures? Cody, that is a phenomenal question. Thank you. Yes, that is exactly what we're going to be doing. You got it, right? You're right on the money with that. I've talked about this briefly before, right? Adronis has as well too. That really when you have moved yourself into a very great heightening through this lifetime, and you transition and you go back into the spirit world, you get a lot of offers, right? So it's kind of like you're looking at a job board back in the spirit world, and you get all these offers on your job board and saying, if I'm using myself an example, oh, Brad, you did this work on Earth, come to Zeta Reticuli, come to Gamma Orionis and become a teacher there and start teaching there. Hey, you're going to get a lot of rewards of this. We're going to give you a 12-strand DNA body. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Right? You're going to be able to do all these incredible things. You're going to be a great teacher in that way. Please come, right? And you could basically go into this incarnation where you're being treated as an avatar, right? So it could be many of you on this chat, right? Hey, we got a job offer for you. It's on the job board. Come to Alcyone in the Pleiades and be this avatar. You got a 12-strand DNA body. It's going to be great. We're mixing together Pleiadian and Earth human genetics, and we're going to give you a 12-strand body, and you can go and do this. We would love to have you there. Sure. Okay. So that's exactly what's happening, is that those who have really learned a lot in this life, who have really transformed themselves, go to this spiritual job board and start looking at all these offers. And now you're going to different planets, and now you're teaching all these other people, all these different civilizations, what not to do, right? Because you carry a lot of that Earth experience with you, if you do, again, proper practices. A lot of proper practices are I am practices, right? Being able to bring as much love into your body as possible, because when the time comes when you transition, you can actually take a lot of that love energy out of the physical body and put it into a light body, put it into a resurrected body. And now you can take that body and incarnate into other areas that you want to, right? Everything, of course, happens all at once. But if we're looking at this in a linear perspective, this is just giving an example of that. So yes, especially within the greater times ahead, when we look into the next centuries and millennia ahead, humanity is really going to be among the stars, and we're going to be teachers. We're again gods in training to become gods, to become these avatars, these deities in physical humanoid bodies. And we're going to be teaching a lot of other civilizations what not to do, to not go into the slavery programs, to not go into being tempted by a lot of this power, this illusionary power, this delusion of wealth and greed. Right? We're teaching them how to move past all of that. So there's a lot of work, guys. We haven't even begun our work yet. Not even started. This is like a prologue, right? If you look back into the very beginning of humanity to where we are right now, guys, this is a prologue. We haven't even entered chapter 1 yet. Okay? That's when we become a galactic civilization. When you become a galactic civilization, a universal civilization, and you start going to other planets and you start teaching many others about this, now you're going into chapter 1. Now you're going to chapter 2, chapter 3. Humanity hasn't even got past their prologue yet. Right? Isn't that amazing? But we're going to. We're going to be. Once all of this comes through, that's the end of the prologue. Right? Once the corruption gets out of the way, transitions in that way, we move to chapter 1. Okay? That's where humanity begins its true nature. Right? We're truly living. Because all we're doing right now is just being frantic and surviving. And depending upon the ego, which is dumb, idiotic, and moronic. Right? So that's the important thing, is that, and again, Cody, that's a great question that you shared. Thank you for such a great question. I really love that question. Okay? So yes, that is exactly the type of work that we're doing. We're being these kind of cosmic God missionaries. That's where we're going to be. All right? So thank you for that. Brad says, does EMF shielded, and thank you for the contribution, does EMF shielded clothing, like a hat, interfere with meditation and communication with spirit? Nope. Guys, how can I put this? People have asked me very similar things relating to the healing code cards as well too. Brad, if I have a plastic cover, if I have a plastic lamination over this, is this going to block spirit energy? Guys, do you even know what spirit energy is? Okay. What is spirit energy, everybody? Is it material? Does it have a body? No. So why would you think anything would block it? You cannot have material block immaterial things, right? It's not spirit light, okay? Spirit light is the creator of all matter. So how could something that is being created by spirit be patented in such a way to block it? That's not possible, guys, okay? It's different if we're looking at X-rays and lead in that sense. Those are different bands. We're not talking about spirit light, okay? Yes, lead will block X-rays, okay? But basically, if you're looking at shielded clothing and EMF in that sense, is that going to block spirit light? No, man. No. Spirit's responsible for the creation of matter. Okay? You cannot take something that you create and think that that creation is going to overshadow you. Okay? That is a very common misconception. Right? This is why I say is that we will always be one with God, but we can never be over God because God is a creator. Right? We are creation. Right? A creator can never be outshined or overshadowed by their own creation. It's not possible. Okay? So matter is the creation from spirit. So no, you cannot have your spirit light blocked by anything material because material was created by spirit light. It cannot block it in any shape, way, or form. Okay? Remember that when you're working with the healing code cards. Okay, because I get a lot of people ask me about that question, saying, well, Brad, if I laminate this thing, if I put it in some sort of big case in that sense, is it going to be blocked? No, it's spirit light. You can't block spirit light because spirit light created matter. All right, so that's my answer to that question. Thank you, Brad. Okay, moving on down the list here a bit more. Okay. Here's an interesting question here from Andy C. Where is the soul located in the body? Here's the answer. Everywhere and nowhere. Okay, thanks for your question. Okay, I have been using my healing code cards daily and I have seen them work beautifully. Great, glad they're working well for you. Sometimes, guys, there'll be times where I'm just basically giving you kind of a paradoxical, rhetorical answer, right? And that's just there to kind of help you out a lot more because the greatest clarity you're ever going to find pertaining to a question is the question that you yourself answer, not me. Okay? I'm only here to kind of pick at your brain at times. Or sometimes I'll just give you rhetorical responses. And what does it mean? What does it mean? Everywhere and nowhere. What the hell? And then you finally sit with that for a while. And then all of a sudden, poof, clarity comes. I get it now. Congratulations. You answered your own question, right? That's the greatest clarity, is when you answer your own questions. Okay, okay guys, I think we're going to wrap up for today. So thank you very much, everybody, for your questions. I really appreciate it. Again, I'll be back next Friday for another New Earth TV Live. And of course, the Akashic Record Sessions are now available on newearthteachings.com. Again, check out Adronis, Life in Higher Planes. That's going to be an amazing webinar. Again, that's happening on May 16th. And again, thank you for joining me for these near 90 minutes today. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all next week. More videos are to come on my channel here this week too as well. So take care, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care.